Doesn't feel like it outside, doesn't look like it outside, but it's time for Bobcat Baseball. I'm Russ Eisenstein, the voice of the Bobcats, joined by the interim head coach of the Diamond Cats, Craig Moore, and our chat is presented by Wellston's own Totino's. Let's go back to a couple of weeks ago, Craig, where the announcement came out that Rob Smith was stepping away from coaching, retiring from coaching. Pretty young to be retired, but we wish him and his family the best. What was your reaction to that? What were your conversations like with him about that?
I think the reaction was a little bit, shocking. Like you said, a little bit young to retire, but, Rob felt like there were some things that he had to prioritize. But for him to have the confidence in myself and the other staff members to kind of get us through this spring season, it feels good. It feels good that somebody believed in kind of your abilities to carry the program forward. And, Rob and I had worked for 10 years, with 2 years at Creighton, obviously eight years here at Ohio. And I believe that we had the same ideas, the same thoughts, the same philosophies. And I think that has made the transition moving forward for not only the program in terms of staff and players, but just kind of the transition from Rob to me. And I couldn't be happier to be leading the program. Our staff is working our tails off, in preparation of this weekend's opening series at Radford. And we're doing whatever we can to make this thing right for this spring.
The interim tag is always interesting because you're auditioning for the full-time job here. That's part of it. Or you might be auditioning for a head coaching job on the D1 level elsewhere. You're trying to do right by the student athletes who you've known and mentored for years now, and the new ones coming in, and you want to make sure that the program is going in the right direction. So how do you try to balance all of that?
I believe you just take it day by day. I believe that you come up with a plan for the day and you execute that plan, whether it be staff meetings, meetings with administration, and then obviously practice with players. And I think that you keep them engaged, you keep them motivated by creating different things in practice in terms of drill sets and game settings. You just take it day by day. Like I said, I don't think that I can think about the future too much or get out too far in advance. I think that wouldn't be fair to myself, wouldn't be fair to the staff, wouldn't be fair to the players. But it's that old saying that just when you're in the present, you do what you do. So that's kind of the approach that we're taking, and I think that it's going to work out for us as we move through the spring 2021 season.
Yeah, I think baseball coaches and baseball people are well designed for just taking what's happening at the moment, pitch by pitch, at bat by at bat. You've been a head coach before. You were a head coach at Western Texas State in your career, in addition to a lot of years as an assistant. So what's your style as a head coach, Craig?
I want to believe that I'm a player's coach. I want to give the players some ownership of the program, some ownership of what they feel like they need to do as an individual to help the team, be successful. I don't try to be a cookie cutter type guy. If one guy is a little bit different in doing something, that's fine, versus another guy, because of physical abilities or even, just physicality. Guys being bigger and stronger are going to do different things than a guy that's a little bit smaller and not as strong. So we try to bring some individualism to the program with the guys in skill development. We try to get them to have the ownership in terms of the team and have a little bit of a say with what's going on, and kind of having a voice to the staff. But when it comes to the baseball game itself, you'll see a very pitching, defensive oriented team. And that's something, Russ, that you've seen over the last 8 years. That motto, that philosophy will not change. We are going to be one of the top defensive teams in the conference. We'll be one of the top pitching teams in the conference. In terms of offensive play, we like to be as aggressive as we can. We want to put pressure on the defenses out there. whether it be through the small game, whether it be through the running game. But we also want to have some boppers in our lineup too. We want to have some guys that can drive the ball and do some damage. But if we can execute the game offensively, get a timely hit with the runner in scoring position, I believe that will determine a lot of the success that we have this season. And that goes for any baseball team at any level. I mean, our philosophy every day when we go to practice is throw strikes, make the routine play, and get timely hitting. If you do those three things, you're going to get yourself a chance to be in a ball game late, and that gives you a chance to win the game.
It's hard to have expectations through all of this because this is such a unique sort of deal here, at least from the outside. We're looking at this and just wondering, well, what's going to happen internally with your ball club and with your guys? What are your expectations for this year?
It's number one is to try to stay safe and healthy, with this pandemic going on. Obviously, our program's been hit a little bit with the COVID issues. And so I think that's first and foremost, just making sure that our guys are safe and healthy to the best that we can provide them with. Expectation-wise, be competitive. I haven't set a standard or a goal of, hey, this is how many games we're going to win, or this is, we're going to win the conference championship. Obviously, that is the ultimate goal down the road. But for me, it's win the day. Win today. Do what you have to do to get better today. And then that will lead to some of the expectations that maybe we are kind of keeping within to ourselves to say, hey, we did what we had to do today in order to be successful tomorrow. And so I don't want to set a goal of games to win. I don't want to set a goal of this or that right now. I just think that, again, going back to the whole win the day, take it day by day, I think if we just do those little things, I think we will get to some of the ability to win games more than not.
Finally, in the minute or so that we have left here, from an individual leader standpoint, you're the head coach, you're the interim head coach, and your staff, you're going to lean on guys. Who are you leaning on here? Who are your leaders that you're looking at this year?
I think Joe Rock is going to be a leader for us. Joe is obviously a top prospect for the MLB draft this summer. I think he'll be a guy that is led by example, whether it be in the weight room and during workouts for the pitching staff. Trevor Hafner's been around for a while. Very veteran, very experienced player for us. Guys listen to him. He's very influential with the team. We expect him to kind of be a leader in that role. Sebastian Vabic is another guy that's been around for a while that we're expecting some good things from, in his last year here. And then I think Brett Manis also from the pitching staff standpoint. He's a guy that guys look up to. The younger guys kind of watch and see how he works, and they kind of follow that lead there too. So, when people talk about leaders, they always talk about, I think a lot of them think about leaders being vocal, and I think that there are things as a silent leader, a guy that goes out there, maybe not the most talkative guy, like Joe Rock's not the most talkative guy, but he goes out there and he works his butt off, and so that's kind of what I see out of those four guys right there as being our guys that are going to kind of keep this unit together moving forward through everything that we're going to have to deal with, weather, the pandemic, a very tough conference slate. So I feel good about those guys being in charge of the team.
Well, we wish you nothing but the best. You're a good man. It's been great to work with you over these years, and it will be great to work with you in your new distinction as interim head coach this year. Thanks for the time. Good luck.
Thanks, Russ. I appreciate it.
That's interim head coach of Bobcat Baseball, Craig Moore. I'm Russ Eisenstein. We've been presented by Totino's, and this is Bobcat TV.